We all think we understand why people get stuck in life, but what if the real reasons are completely invisible? Today, we're going to look at 4 hidden traps that can hold anyone back. And more importantly, we're going to find the keys to breaking free. So, when you hear the word poverty, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's just a lack of money, right? But what if that's not even the real story? What if that's just the tip of the iceberg, and the real problem is something much, much deeper? And this isn't just some theory, it's actually backed by some pretty serious research from Nobel Prize-winning economists. They've found that underneath all the financial stress, there are these invisible, traps, mindsets and systems that are really the things keeping people stuck. All right, let's dive into the first one. And this one is probably the most common. It's this powerful force that messes with our daily choices, often when we don't even realize it. It's called the instant gratification trap. Yeah, some people call this the garbage trap, which is a pretty harsh name, but it gets the point across. It's that little voice in your head, you know the one that whispers, "Go on, you deserve this right now." And it tricks you into picking that quick, easy pleasure over the real solid work of building a future. I mean, we've all seen it, right? Someone buys the brand new smartphone, but they're stressing about rent. Or they're eating instant noodles all week just so they can post a picture from one expensive restaurant. It feels good for a second, for sure, but it's a vicious cycle. You're basically just trading away your future for a quick hit of happiness. And let's be real, why is this so hard to resist? Well, because it's not an accident. There's a whole industry built to make you fall for it. Businesses are masters at using sales and ads to hit that "I want it now" button in your brain. The whole system is designed to make you spend. Quick tip though, try the 24-hour rule. Just wait a day before you buy something you don't really need. You'd be surprised how often that urge just disappears. Okay, on to trap number 2. And wow, in today's world, this one is an absolute monster. It's the silent thief that steals the one thing you can never, ever get back: your attention. This is the endless distraction trap. People also call this the amusement trap. And there's a really important difference here. It's when you stop using entertainment to feel real joy and instead start using it to just feel nothing. It's a way to numb yourself, to hide from the hard stuff you know you need to do. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. Why is it that the top tech executives, the actual people who create these super addictive apps and gadgets, why do they barely let their own kids use them? The answer? It's pretty chilling. They follow an old drug dealer's rule: never get high on your own supply. Think about that. They know exactly how addictive this stuff is because they literally designed it to be. They're selling something they think is too dangerous for their own families. So what's the end game here? It's not happiness. It's being amused to death. You're so busy scrolling and swiping that you never actually do anything that matters. A good way to start fighting this is to just schedule 30 minutes, just 30, of focused work. Phone in another room. It's a game changer. All right, trap number 3. This one is sneaky because it looks like the opposite of being distracted. It feels productive. This is for anyone out there who feels like they're on a treadmill, just running and running but not actually going anywhere. We're talking about the busy but unproductive trap. Yeah, we all call it the rat race, right? And it's this super convincing illusion that if you're moving, you're winning. Answering emails, jumping between meetings, it feels like progress, but is it really? So check out this story from China. It's perfect. You had all these teachers in one industry, and almost all of them just crammed their schedules with more and more classes, working like crazy. That's busyness. But there was this one guy who did the complete opposite. He used his free time to just think, to really understand what was going on. Well, guess what happened when that industry fell apart? All the busy teachers were out of a job. The guy who was thinking, he started his own company and crushed. And that brings us to this wild, kind of counterintuitive idea. Busyness without thinking is really just a fancy form of laziness. It's true. It's so much easier to just keep running on the hamster wheel than to stop, get off, and ask, wait, where am I even going? Try this. Just take 15 minutes in the morning. Don't work. Just think about what actually matters today. Okay, here we are, the 4th and final trap. And this one might be the most dangerous of all because it doesn't feel like a trap. It feels safe. It feels comfortable. We're talking about the comfortable cage. If you've ever seen The Shawshank Redemption, you'll get this one.
It's what happens when that stable, predictable life, the one we're all told to want, actually becomes a prison. It just slowly chips away at your ambition until the thought of doing something different, of taking a risk, is absolutely terrifying.
It boils down to a simple truth we all kind of know but hate to admit. Real growth only happens when you step outside your comfort zone. That zone feels safe, sure, but it's also where your potential goes to die. So, how in the world do you break out of this cage? Look, you don't have to quit your job and move to another country. It starts small. Just find one tiny comfort and disrupt it. Like, put your alarm clock on the other side of the room. It forces you to get up. It's a tiny little act of rebellion against comfort. And those little wins build up. So, there you have it. 4 really powerful traps that keep people stuck. But you might have noticed they all have something in common. And that means they have a common solution, too. It all comes down to one single idea. Your mindset is what sets you free. Breaking out of these traps isn't about luck. It's about making a different choice. You have to consciously choose the long game over the quick fix. Choose to actually focus instead of being distracted. Choose real thinking over just being busy. And maybe the hardest one, choose to be brave instead of just being comfortable. And really, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Being stuck, being in a state of poverty, isn't always some fixed destiny. A lot of the time, it's a mindset. And the great thing about a mindset is it can be changed. So I'll leave you with one final thought. Take a minute and be honest with yourself about your own life, your own habits, and then ask yourself, which one of these traps are you going to break out of first?